let's jump into your amazing budding career. From everything that I've learned as I've studied for this, it seems like you didn't grow up around a whole lot of country music based on where you grew up. So at what point did you know you had to do this?
Man, it's always a hard question because I've been in music since I was 11 years old. I lived in California for a little while in my life, and I was surrounded by the entertainment industry, and so I kind of just got into it at a young age. But country music specifically, my parents were never into it. They always respected it, but it wasn't like their biggest thing. And I just started writing songs when I was younger, and I started to notice that country music has such a storyteller environment in it that I just naturally kind of fell into the country music world and fell in love with the songwriting and the storytelling of that. So around 11 is when I started. I think I decided to really take this up as a career full-time, nothing else, when I was senior in college. So like 21 years old. Yeah.
So when you're at Belmont and you win this music, I guess it's a contest. What is it?
Yes.
Country Showcase.
Country Showcase. It was
and some other stars have won this deal. What's the impact of having that title?
At Belmont, it's a huge deal. So for those of our listening that don't know what that is, it's called the Country Showcase. It's a thing that Belmont University here in Nashville does, and like people like Brad Paisley and Florida Georgia Line, they've all won it when they went to Belmont. And basically, it's like 2,000 to 3,000 people in our basketball arena, and it's all student run, and it's all students that compete in it. And if you win, it's kind of like the panel of judges is, you know, professionals from all over Nashville. So agents and managers and label executives and all these people. And so I applied for it kind of on a whim. I was a communications and marketing major, so nothing to do with music at all. I applied for it on a whim, got in, ended up winning the competition. And my now agent was a judge on the panel and was like, hey, I think you owe it to yourself to give this a real shot for at least a year and just see what happens. So it's pretty cool.
It's really cool. And that's it's a grain of sand town. It's so hard to get traction in that town. There's insanely talented and insanely beautiful people everywhere you look. Mm-hmm. Great writers, great vocalists all over the place. What's the challenge of cutting through in that town?
I mean, it's always going to be a challenge. You're right. I think, you know, Nashville is home to the best of the best songwriters and artists. I think for me personally, and I can only speak to myself, if you stay true to what you want to say and genuinely make art that you think is dope, it'll cut through. Because you can't do somebody else better than they can, and they can't do you better than you can. So it's one of those things that if you're competitive, you're never really going to win. Because you have to just be true to yourself and do what you think is dope, and hopefully somebody else will think it's dope too, but that's all you really can do. I think personally for me, social media was a really big way to cut through, which was a kind of a weird way to do it because typically in Nashville, as a new artist to cut through, you play shows, you really kind of build a buzz in town, you get a label deal, and then you kind of spread that outside of Nashville. I kind of went outside of Nashville first and brought that buzz to Nashville through social media. So it was kind of a different way of cutting through. But there's, so many different ways. Just be true to who you are and make dope art, and that's all you really can do.
Yeah, I've seen how active you are on social media, and in a way, I almost wonder, are you adding more noise to a lot of competition? But in a way, I mean, I think that's one of the best things about social media. Marty and I talk all the time about how destructive it can be in a lot of ways, but sometimes, though, it helps you recognize the real talent that's out there.
I think it took Nashville a minute to really get on board with that because there just was this very traditional way of breaking in this industry. And it was, the social media world wasn't really a part of that in the beginning. And I think TikTok and the pandemic and, finding artists via social media kind of shook up the town a little bit, which was really awesome to see. And now, you see so many more people that weren't in Nashville and now they are because of social media and are getting buzz. So it's cool. It's just changing the industry a little bit in a really beautiful way.
Which leads us to our next question, which actually came by way of my good friend and your soon-to-be starting this weekend touring mate, the great Georgian philosopher Cole Swindell. I said, all right, what should I ask Ashley? And he goes, how's she so damn good at TikTok? How do I get that damn good at TikTok? So my question is, what's the impact of that medium on young artists. Like if you figure that thing out, and that's what happened to you.
Yep. It can change your life. Cole is so funny because he's always like, help me do this TikTok thing? Honestly, for me personally, I never expected TikTok to be something that would work for me. And honestly, even to this day, it's a continual gamble, right? Because there's no guarantee that a post is going to do well, whether you have, 5 million followers or not. Like, it's all For You page based. So it's all based off video by video by video. So, I mean, I downloaded it and started posting videos completely on a whim, having no expectations at all. And next thing you know, I got 2 million views on my first ever video posted. So it just kind of is a random thing that happens. You got to learn the platform, learn the app, learn what works for you, learn what people like to see, how quickly you have to say something in the first couple seconds, try new things constantly. It's a continual learning process, which I think is really exciting.
And the pandemic impacted all of us in myriad, countless different ways. All of us had our own context as to what that impact was. If there is no pandemic and no quarantine, how likely is it that you're here in this moment? Because as I think COVID is a major factor on why you even started it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I'd like to think that I would have gotten on TikTok and gotten on Instagram and, I was on Instagram, but really kind of focused on that more. But I don't know. I mean, I think the product of being locked in a house and boredom led to going live on TikTok every night and posting videos. So the question and the answer is I don't know. I don't know what would have happened.